I am a firm believer in karma. I truly believe that it's very real. And my saying goes like this: when you use such hateful slurs upon your soul, you place a curse. And this is something that I have seen throughout my life, time and time again. And I have seen people, very hateful and spiteful people, who use slurs against Black people, against LGBTQ people, against Jewish people, and very, very bad stuff happens to them. And I do firmly believe that, yes, what you put out in the universe comes back on you, magnified 1,000 times. And so when people do project this kind of hatred out there, it does come back at them, and the results are tragic. And I've dealt with different haters in my life, and for example, there are some haters from my teen years that I know had very unfortunate outcomes in their life, tragedy, and I don't wish that on anybody, but I can tell you that a lot of them are dead, have been in and out of jail, have been through rehab for substance abuse, alcohol abuse, and I truly feel that a lot of people that are filled with hate, and I say this to LGBTQ young people who are going through something like what I experienced, where yes, you're being harassed because you're not considered to be quote unquote normal or whatever. And I just want to say that I have seen very, very bad, terrible, awful stuff happen to these people. And it's not something that I wished on others, but I truly have seen the the kind of energy that they have put out there pretty much come down on them very, very bad. And so that's why I emphasize to people, when you start to be hateful and use slurs against other people because they're Black, because they're gay, transgender, whatever, you are inviting upon yourself tremendous negativity. And so, and into your life in ways that you don't realize or understand, because of whatever reason you're not enlightened enough to know that you're creating an aura that is going to bring you great, great pain. And I do find that people that really are hateful, surprisingly, and this is the message that I want to emphasize for young people, the people that are the bullies are the ones that actually hate themselves. They have such self-loathing, you cannot possibly understand how much they actually loathe themselves. The hate and misery inside themselves is so tremendous that it's spilling out and onto everyone and everything around them. And that's what you have to keep in mind, even though it's like you want to like just literally bash their heads in, you do have to remember that's where it's coming from. It's coming from within, because if people are really truly happy within themselves and they're not filled with hate, obviously, and those are the people that project positivity because they are at one with themselves, and they have a healthy sort of aura about them. And so I really continue to stress that to those young kids out there that are going through very difficult experiences and dealing with bullying or someone that is disrespectful to them, trying to bring them down all the time because they, again, don't fit whatever the norm is supposed to be. And there really isn't a norm. That's just a bunch of bullshit. There is no considerable norm that everyone can ever follow. It's beyond norms. We are not, we're not supposed to all be a bunch of pods. You know what I mean? We're not pod people. We are extraordinarily diverse beings, and there's something unique and individualistic about every single human being, and that's why we have so many variations of DNA, and there's so much about each single person that is truly unique. And and it's true. I mean, you think about even identical twins. There's something about each person, even between two identical twins, where one person has something about them that is uniquely individual to that person. And that's how everyone around them is able to differentiate between the two of them because of that. So we're not made to be copies of each other. So that's why there is so much variation in life, and why I've always been about diversity, because that pretty much seems like the natural order. That's the true natural order of life, is that one person is the same, and trying to group people into these groups, that's why it is such a useless exercise in futility.